Toyota is selling you touch climate controls that require 5 taps in 18 seconds to change temperature while you're driving 120 kilometers per hour. Ford charges $65,000 for an F-150 with a gear shifter so poorly designed, it's caused 3 deaths. Volkswagen installs lane assist that fights you so aggressively it feels like someone else is grabbing your steering wheel. And BMW, they're subscription-locking heated seats you already paid for in the hardware. Number 4 on this list is so dangerous that consumer safety groups are demanding recalls, but manufacturers refuse because profit margins matter more than your life. If you bought a new car in the last 3 years, you're living with at least 3 of these design disasters right now. The automotive industry has completely lost its mind. In the race to appear innovative and cut costs, manufacturers are installing features that actively make driving more dangerous, ownership more expensive, and every journey more frustrating. These aren't unfortunate mistakes or engineering compromises. These are calculated decisions where spreadsheets matter more than safety, where marketing images matter more than usability, and where quarterly earnings matter more than whether you can actually operate your car without crashing. I've spent 4 months documenting the worst offenses, interviewing owners who've had near-miss accidents, talking to mechanics who see the carnage daily, and even speaking with former automotive engineers who left the industry in disgust. What I discovered is worse than I imagined. According to J.D. Power's 2024 quality study, feature dissatisfaction is now the #1 complaint from new car buyers, surpassing actual mechanical failures for the first time in automotive history. We've reached a point where cars mechanically work fine, but they fail at being drivable. If you're as furious about these features as I am, smash that subscribe button because manufacturers are counting on you staying silent while they continue installing this garbage. The 18-second death trap. Let's start with the feature that's actively killing people right now. Touchscreen controls for climate, volume, and driving modes. Tesla, Volkswagen, Mercedes, even Honda are burying essential controls 3 menus deep in touchscreens that require you to look away from the road for dangerous amounts of time. Stockholm traffic safety researcher Dr. Lars Eriksson tested this with a 2024 Volkswagen ID4. To adjust the temperature, drivers looked away from the road for an average of 18.4 seconds. At 100 kilometers per hour, that's 511 meters of blind driving. We measured eye tracking on 40 test subjects. Not a single one kept their eyes on the road while adjusting climate through the touchscreen. The data is absolutely damning. Euro NCAP found that touchscreen-only controls increase accident risk by 47% compared to physical buttons. The average time to adjust climate settings went from 2.1 seconds with a knob to 18 seconds with a touchscreen. That's not improvement. That's deliberately making cars more dangerous. Munich Mercedes owner Wolfgang Schneider told me, "I nearly rear-ended someone trying to turn down the fan speed. 3 taps to access climate, 2 more to find fan control, then a slider that doesn't register half the time. My wife refuses to ride with me when I'm adjusting anything. She says I drive like I'm texting. Here's what makes this genuinely sick. Manufacturers know this is dangerous. Internal testing at a major German automaker. Leaked documents show they measured 12.7 seconds average distraction time for touchscreen climate controls. Their solution? They didn't add physical controls. They added a voice command system that works 60% of the time and requires you to memorize specific phrases. The cost breakdown reveals the crime. Physical climate controls with 3 knobs and 6 buttons cost $14.50 per car to manufacture and install. A touchscreen interface that controls everything costs $8.20. They save $6.30 per vehicle. Multiply that by millions of cars and you understand why your safety is worth $6.30. The Volkswagen ID4 requires 7 taps to change the temperature and 4 more to adjust fan speed. No physical buttons, no knobs, just a glossy touchscreen that reflects sunlight, attracts fingerprints, and forces you to navigate menus while driving. Hamburg taxi driver Michael Weber crashed into a parked car at 40 kilometers per hour while trying to demist his windscreen. "I was tapping the screen, nothing happened. Tapped harder, still nothing. Looked down to see why. Boom. Insurance paid out, but Volkswagen takes no responsibility. They said I should have used voice commands while driving in traffic." The Hyundai Ioniq 5 is even worse. Critical driving mode changes are touchscreen only. Copenhagen driving instructor Ann Peterson, "I refuse to use these cars for lessons. Students trying to enable sport mode before a highway merge have nearly caused collisions 3 times. One girl started crying because she couldn't figure out how to turn off the lane assist while it was actively fighting her. She's 19 years old and a digital native. If she can't use it, who can?" The $65,000 Russian roulette gear shifters that don't actually shift anything. They're buttons, dials, or toggles that send digital signals to a transmission computer. When they fail or confuse drivers, people die. And manufacturers know this. The 2024 Ford F-150 uses a push-button gear selector mounted on the dashboard. It's killed 3 people. Phoenix, Arizona resident James Mitchell's truck rolled backward in his driveway, pinning him against his garage door. He'd pushed the button for park, but the transmission hadn't engaged. The gear display showed P. The transmission was in neutral. He died from crush injuries. Ford recalled 2.9 million vehicles for this exact problem in 2023. The fix? A software update. Not a mechanical solution, not a redesigned shifter, just software that hopefully prevents the transmission from lying about what gear it's in. Hopefully. Dallas mechanic Robert Santos. I see these trucks come in after minor accidents, owners swearing they put it in park. Guess what? The computer disagrees. The display can show park while the transmission is in neutral. That's not a bug, that's a design flaw that kills people. The data proves this isn't isolated. NHTSA received 4,800 complaints about Ford's electronic shifters since 2021, including 47 crashes and 3 deaths. The shifter confuses drivers because it doesn't give physical feedback. You push a button, trust the display, and hope the computer agrees with your intention. But here's what makes this genuinely criminal. Traditional mechanical shifters cost $67 per vehicle. Electronic shifters cost $41. Ford saves $26 per truck. On 3 million F-100s, that's $78 million in savings. The wrongful death settlements? $2.4 million per case. 3 deaths cost them $7.2 million. They still profit $70.8 million. The math is disgusting. Ram's rotary dial shifter in the 1500 is equally dangerous. You rotate a dial on the center console. There's no mechanical connection. Just trust that the computer understood you. Grand Rapids. Michigan resident Sarah Chen. I rotated to park, got out, the truck rolled backward into my daughter's swing set. The dealer said I didn't rotate far enough. There's no click, no resistance, no feedback. How am I supposed to know if I rotated enough? The Jaguar F-Pace uses a rotary dial that rises from the center console when you start the car. It's dramatic, it's futuristic, it's also confusing as hell. London Jaguar owner Oliver Hartley, the dial rises, you rotate to drive, but if you rotate too fast, it doesn't register. Too slow, same problem. There's a specific speed you need to rotate at. Nobody told me this. I figured it out after lurching forward and reverse 3 times because the transmission hadn't engaged drive yet. BMW's electronic shifter in the X5 is a small toggle you push forward, back, left, or right. After 30 years of traditional shifters, driver's muscle memory fights against this. Vienna BMW owner Franz Mueller nearly crashed in a parking garage. I meant to shift to reverse, pushed the wrong direction, the car lurched forward, almost hit a wall. There's no physical gate preventing you from selecting the wrong gear. It's just a toggle that trusts you know which direction is which. The digital co-pilot from hell. Lane keep assist should gently nudge you back if you drift. Instead, modern systems grab your steering wheel aggressively, fight your corrections, and activate randomly on curved roads, making you feel like someone invisible is trying to murder you. The 2024 Nissan Rogue's lane assist is so aggressive it's genuinely terrifying. Berlin Nissan owner Klaus Richter. I'm driving on the Autobahn. Slight curve. The car suddenly jerks the wheel left. I correct. It fights me, jerks harder. I'm wrestling my own car at 140 kilometers per hour. I disabled it permanently using a coding tool. Nissan says that voids my warranty. I don't care. I'd rather lose warranty than die. The safety statistics are damning. A Swedish study found that aggressive lane assist systems cause 23% more overcorrections than passive systems. Overcorrection is when the driver fights the system so hard they swerve into the adjacent lane they were trying to avoid. The Toyota Corolla's lane assist has caused 1,200 complaints to NHTSA about unexpected steering inputs. Drivers report the system activating on clear roads, jerking the wheel with no lane departure detected, and fighting corrections so aggressively that passengers scream, thinking the driver is losing control. Amsterdam Traffic Safety Institute tested 15 vehicles with lane assist. The finding? 8 systems activated false positives, jerking the wheel when no lane departure occurred. 5 systems applied steering torque strong enough to overcome an average driver's grip. 3 systems had no way to permanently disable them without dealer coding. Toyota's system in particular activated on road paint, shadows from trees, and even guardrails, mistaking them for lane lines. Manchester, UK resident Emma Thompson nearly crashed avoiding a pedestrian. I swerved left to avoid someone stepping into the road. The lane assist detected I'd crossed the line and violently jerked the wheel back right. I nearly hit the pedestrian anyway because the car was fighting me. Here's what makes this criminal. The sensitivity settings are tuned for marketing demonstrations, not real-world driving. In controlled tests where journalists review cars, these systems work beautifully on perfectly marked roads in perfect weather. On actual roads with worn paint, construction zones, and curved lanes, they're dangerous. BMW's lane assist in the 5 Series activates so randomly that Munich mechanics report 40% of owners ask to have it coded off at first service. The car jerks the wheel on mountain roads with tight curves. The system thinks you're leaving your lane because the curve is sharp. You're not. You're following the road, but the car disagrees and tries to kill you. Digital robbery. This is the feature that makes me physically sick. BMW, Mercedes, and Toyota are locking features behind monthly subscriptions even though the hardware is installed in your car. You paid $75,000 for a BMW X5. The heated seats are installed. The wiring is there. But they don't work unless you pay $18 per month. That's not a service. That's digital robbery. BMW's subscription model launched in 2022 in markets where customer backlash would be minimal. Heated seats, $18 monthly. Adaptive cruise control, $25 monthly. High beam assist, $10 monthly. These aren't cloud features or over-the-air updates. These are physical components already installed in the car you purchased. The cost breakdown is insane. BMW installs heated seats in every X5 regardless of whether you subscribe. Why? Because manufacturing 2 different seat configurations costs more than installing heating elements in all cars. So every X5 has heated seats, but they're locked behind software until you pay monthly. Berlin consumer protection lawyer Marcus Hoffman is building a class action lawsuit. This is unconscionable. You purchased physical hardware. It's in your car. You own it. Then the manufacturer ransom holds it behind software locks and demands monthly payments. This meets the legal definition of extortion in some interpretations. Mercedes went even further. Their $120,000 EQS has acceleration locked behind a subscription. The motors are installed. The battery is installed. The car is physically capable of faster acceleration. But Mercedes locks 60 horsepower behind an annual $1,200 subscription. Stuttgart Mercedes owner Wolfgang Klein, "I paid $120,000 for a car that deliberately underperforms unless I pay more. The hardware is there. The capability exists. They're just holding my own car hostage. I traded it in for an Audi after 6 months. I won't be extorted." Toyota's Remote Connect subscription is equally disgusting. For $8 monthly, you get Remote Start via smartphone app. Except here's the crime. You can't remote start with your key fob anymore. Toyota disabled that free feature and put it behind the app subscription. So Remote Start went from a free hardware feature to a subscription service. Tokyo Toyota owner Yuki Tanaka, "My old Camry had Remote Start on the key fob. Free. Forever. My new Camry makes me pay monthly for the same feature. Toyota took something free, put it behind software, and now charges for it. That's theft." The truly sick part? These subscriptions aren't going away. Internal strategy documents from a major German manufacturer state their goal is 25% of revenue from subscriptions by 2030. They want you to buy a $60,000 car, then pay $200 monthly forever for features already installed. They're turning cars into iPhones with wheels, except you can't switch carriers. The battery destroyer. Start-stop systems turn off your engine at traffic lights, supposedly saving fuel. In reality, they save 0.08 liters per 100 kilometers while destroying starters, batteries, and making every journey a stuttering nightmare. But here's the truly disgusting part. Manufacturers are removing the ability to permanently disable it. The 2024 BMW 330i forces you to disable start-stop every single time you start the car. There's no permanent offsetting, no hidden menu, no coding option. BMW makes you experience their fuel-saving theater every single drive, whether you want it or not. Berlin taxi driver Martin Weber, "My 2023 BMW 3 Series started 72,000 times in 14 months because of start-stop. The starter motor failed at 95,000 kilometers. Replacement cost $1,800. The fuel saved over those 14 months? Maybe $180. I'm losing money on this feature I never wanted." The real-world data proves start-stop is economic insanity. Starter motor lifespan reduced 65%. Battery lifespan reduced 45%. Dual-mass flywheel wear increased 40%. Actual fuel savings in city driving? 0.06 liters per 100 kilometers. At current fuel prices, that's 8 cents saved per 100 kilometers. Meanwhile, starter replacement costs $1,200 to $2,000. You need to drive 1.5 million kilometers to break even. The EU mandates start-stop for emissions regulations, but it doesn't mandate removing the off switch. Manufacturers choose to force it on you. Munich BMW service advisor Hans Müller, "Customers ask us every day how to permanently disable it. Officially, I tell them it's not possible. Unofficially, we sell a coding tool for $380 that disables it permanently. BMW knows we do this. They don't stop us because they'd rather you pay a third party than admit their feature is hated." Mercedes went even further. The 2024 E-Class not only forces start-stop, it has a 48-volt mild hybrid system that restarts the engine with a belt-driven starter generator. That component costs $2,800 to replace when it fails, which it does, often. Stuttgart mechanic Johann Bauer, we're replacing these starter generators every 80,000 to 120,000 kilometers. They're not designed for 60,000 start cycles. Mercedes knows this. They just don't care because by the time it fails, you're out of warranty.